You talk more.
Yeah, but I'm a lot louder than you are. Okay, that was close. We almost did a workshop on
You almost did.
neuropathy. Yes, I threw a hat on tonight. I was too lazy to
Groom yourself.
groom myself. I rode my bike this afternoon, so I didn't feel like combing my hair. So here I am in a hat. Well, we welcome everybody. We're going to share the 3 pillars of health. I think in my emails and in our communication, we do call this a weight loss program. It's not really a weight loss program. That's just one of the great benefits of doing what we're going to talk about tonight. One of the main things that we see is that people lose weight. So we're going to talk a little bit about where this came from. This started for me about, I want to say 10 years ago, and I started working with a supplement company that had a gut reset program. And so what I did is I went through and just kind of wrote a program with menus, recipes, shopping lists, etc. And then that kind of evolved as time went on. And then I started working with a different company trying to simplify it. But we started using this with people with things like blood sugar issues and diabetes and neuropathy and autoimmune people. And the more we did this with people, the better off, or the better they got. And one of the main things that improved was their weight. So as the blood sugars went down, their blood pressure came down. I'd have them work with their practitioner to get get off of a lot of the medications. They really did very, very well. So that's where my part of this came in, where this came from. I'm going to let Kim tell her story about how this all came to be for her and how it's helped her. So,
okay, in 2010, I was 2010 or 2011. I think 2010, I was diagnosed with lupus, and I was super busy at the time. I was in graduate school. I had 4 kids. I was going through a divorce, and I didn't really have time to even think about the diagnosis they had given me. So I really just said thank you, and I was told to make an appointment with a rheumatologist, and I didn't. And I just kept going on living my life, and life was normal to me. So I didn't really think I was super sick. So I thought, I don't need to worry about this because I'm fine. By fine, that meant I was fatigued. I did have no energy. I did have chronic headaches. And I did have an annoying swelling in my legs a lot, like to the point that my kids called me an elephant. I didn't gain weight. I did not gain weight anywhere else, but my legs would retain water. But some people said that was because I had kidney disease, and some people said that was just genetic. And so I was just like, whatever. Fast forward 2016, 2015, 2016. I start going to a CrossFit gym with one of my friends, and my hips were really bugging me. My joints were really bothering me. I hadn't lifted weights in a long time. And the coach said that I should go get adjusted, and he referred me to Brady, who also went to the CrossFit gym. So I went to Brady initially for alignment issues. My hips kept coming out every time I work out. I had a lot of joint pain. While I was waiting in his office, I saw his Pillars of Health, like little book that he had with recipes and diet. And I was like super confused because I thought he was just not just a chiropractor, but I thought like you just get adjusted from a chiropractor. Like they don't do anything else. Fast forward a little bit, he starts talking to me like, I could probably help you. And, because I mentioned I had lupus, and I just kept thinking, I don't really get how you can help me, but whatever. And then we did a little health challenge where for 2 weeks I did his detox program, which took out most everything I was eating, and my headaches went away. So I decided to stick with it a little bit longer, and lo and behold, all my symptoms went away. And so I was like, sweet. A few months later, my regular doctor is like, have you made that appointment with your rheumatologist yet? I'm like, nope. The only option I was ever given from the medical profession was take medicine. I did finally make an appointment. All they wanted to do was put me on Plaquenil. I said, well, I just started doing something new. I'm feeling a lot better, so I like to stick with that for a little while. 6 months later, I went back for a retest and my blood work was clean. I didn't even show signs of lupus. I've had biopsies, so they know that I have it, but so I've stuck with it. So I've been eating this way for 4 years.
It'll be 5 years.
It'll be
this year.
5 years this year. So I have no headaches. I mean, I get an occasional headache like the average person, but I was having chronic migraines. I was literally fatigued. I did chalk it up to my lifestyle. I worked 2 full-time jobs and I was raising kids by myself, and that contributed to some, but I kept on doing that after I switched my diet. Like my lifestyle didn't change and my energy did increase.
Yeah, if you met Kim today, and I know a lot of you have, you'd never actually know that she's got this, what's supposed to be a debilitating disease, because we just keep it under control with diet. And from a clinical standpoint, on a day-to-day basis, we put this together because I just flat don't have time to sit down with every patient that we see and just teach this individually to everyone. And we live in a post-COVID era now where it's really hard to get together in person. So we put this all online. And the other part of it too is we have a lot of people that come to our office from out of town, and it's impossible for them to come to a class just because they live hundreds of miles away. So that's why we're here tonight. So
and also because I just don't think people know.
They don't.
Like no one ever told me, oh, it could be your food. Like nobody. And I think we just trust our doctor.
Right.
Like, so it's like, oh, well, they say I need medicine. Right. I did do research and didn't like the side effects of the medicine. So I was like, that sounds as worse as what I'm suffering with. But like nobody ever told me, like, I didn't even know what gluten really was. And I know that's a little more like it's seemingly like that's becoming more of a buzz term and all this, but inflammation, like all these terms, I was like, I did not know what inflammation. Right. Yeah, I did not know what that meant. And I didn't know that food caused these things. So that's like my big thing is like, I just feel so bad that people don't know.
So we were watching, I was watching a football game yesterday. Kim was on the couch reading, and a commercial for a drug for Plaquenil came up. And it was like 15 seconds of how much good the drug can do for you. And then it was 45 seconds of these awful side effects.
Like blindness.
We were laughing, but really it's not funny. So, but what I do want to make sure that we mention is you can relax, because we do have this worksheet that we're going to send out. I will email this to you first thing in the morning. So you have a lot of the descriptions and the whys behind what we're doing. Plus at the back of this, there's about 12 different recipes, links to 12 different recipes that we absolutely love. So this will come to you. You will get this tomorrow. I promise I will email that out. So let's just put that out there. Here's the real reason why we're here tonight. Our food system is broken. There's a big reason why the standard American diet is pronounced, or what's the word I'm looking for? The acronym for the standard American diet is SAD or SAD, because it really is pathetic. We have all these foods that, and this whole notion that losing weight and eating quote unquote healthy is only about calories or fats. And we couldn't be any further from the truth. If that were true, then this picture would be absolutely pointless. Okay, so here we have a picture that we're guessing that was taken in the late 60s.
And the people look good.
And the people, they really do look good. There's not a lot of obesity. I mean, I see some fat rolls, but I don't see a lot of obesity. And she's packing some.
Not much though.
Not much. Not like it was today. So if we were to take this picture today, it would look completely different. And the question becomes why? And the only thing that's really changed since back then was it seems that our food supply gets worse and worse. So hopefully tonight, with a few minutes that we're together, we can kind of unpack some of that for you and help you understand. First off, if a food is labeled as a healthy food,
it's probably not.
It's probably a lie. The whole notion that fat's bad for you is a lie. Calories in meaning calories out is a lie. Like all these things are just, if these things were true, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, we wouldn't have
And
chronic disease.
heart disease, diabetes, these would not be and cancer would not be the top 3 causes of death in this country if people really understood what it means to eat healthy. So that's what we're going to try to help you do. So this is from my good friend, Dr. Andy Barlow. Andy practices in Tupelo, Mississippi, and we do a video together every Monday. So that's Andy you see on our Facebook page. But this is his quote: "God food heals, man food kills." Basically what he means by that is God food is the way that God intended it as it grows up out of the ground. Man food takes that God food and processes it down to something that goes into a wrapper and becomes man food. So if you really truly want to get better, we got to focus on God food and get rid of the man food. That's what it takes to heal.
And it's really simple.
And it is. It's people want to make it this big thing. Well, it's less simple than getting something out of a wrapper and throwing it in the microwave.
Or through the drive-through.
Or going through the drive-through. It's more complicated than that, but that's the type of the behaviors
Well, I
that
would
guide
say
you.
it takes more effort than that, but I don't really think it's complex. Like people, like you're not gonna have to
True.
like cook for 5 hours to make a food. Like we put steaks on the grill tonight.
Right.
We put a vegetable in the oven. Like it's not like we spent hours creating this recipe or something. Like yes, that took more time than McDonald's, but
it really didn't. I mean,
right, it's not
the
like-
most time-consuming thing I did tonight was cut the Brussels sprouts. That's it.
Right.
And the rest of it was just,
By the way, Brussels sprouts are so good.
they really are. I love people will tell me, I'll say something about Brussels sprouts. This happened today with Eric. Oh, I can't stand Brussels sprouts. I'm like, yeah, you never let me make it with some Brussels sprouts. So
Sure.
that's the other, here's a challenge that we'll issue that email us. We'll have you over for dinner. No one's taken us up on that yet.
Yeah. they must
Like
be-
we literally will make dinner for you. All you gotta do is email us.
I've had a few girlfriends, but not from this.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So there you go. If you want dinner, email us. We'll have you over for dinner. Then you can sit while we would do the show. So the God food heals, man food kills. So here's the 3 pillars that we want to focus on tonight. Number 1 is to provide yourself with nutrient-dense nutrient-dense calories while decreasing metabolic inflammation.
There's that word.
Metabolic inflammation basically means when you put a food into a quote unquote food into your mouth that your body doesn't recognize as food, you're going to create inflammation that's going to destroy you from the inside out. So drink water and water
you know
only.
what just hit me?
What's up?
I think I know why I was always confused on that. When I hear inflammation initially, I used to think like, oh, I'd gain weight. Like if I had inflammation, I'd gain weight. But like I've never gained a
So-
ton in my life.
A lot of people that are watching this tonight, that is true. Their inflammation will go up and their weight will go up. For you, when your inflammation goes up, that's when we see your butterfly rash and the little thing that comes up on the back of your neck. It still comes around. It's still there, but it's
Yeah, I think that's why I was like, I don't have inflammation.
Yeah.
Like
yours manifests itself differently than mine does.
Yeah.
And for most people that are watching this, the inflammation is going to manifest itself through weight gain, through blood sugar increases. That inflammation, never mind, we'll get it.
Okay.
And through blood pressure issues. Okay. So drinking water and water only. Water is the healthiest stuff that's out there. We'll get into that. And then you do have to exercise. Anyone that tells you you don't, well, they're not.
they're lying to you.
They're brain dead. But you don't have to exercise for the reason that you do, that you think you do. We'll talk about that. So we're going to spend the bulk of our time with number 1, which is provide yourself with nutrient-dense food calories while decreasing metabolic inflammation. Again, don't worry about writing everything down that we say tonight. You're going to get this tomorrow. And you're getting a rough draft copy of it. So if there's mistakes in there, please let us know.
Which you need to fix this.
Yes, I do. So we will send that out to you. So don't fret about taking a whole lot of copious notes. So providing yourself with nutrient-dense foods. Here are the foods that you should eat. Okay. Your protein sources should be poultry, as in turkey, chicken, that is free range and organic as much as you can.
Quail out of our backyard.
Quail we had a family of quail run through our backyard on Sunday.
Should we attack them?
Eggs are one of the healthiest foods on the planet. Please don't listen to that crap about cholesterol and eggs. Pork, beef, lamb, wild game, trout, salmon, crab, and shrimp. There are some people that can react a little negatively to shellfish. So just, you kind of have to play that one by ear. Or if you want to talk about it one-on-one, we'd be happy to do that. But as I said, the key words to look for, and it talks about this in the worksheet, are free range, grass-fed, organic, wild caught, no hormones added, things like that. And the whole purpose of that is, we'll use beef for an example. People, you know how they get cows fat before market? They feed them grains. So a cow that's been grass-fed is going to be high in omega-3 acids, fatty acids, which are actually anti-inflammatory and very good for you, versus a cow that's been eating grains is going to be high in omega-6 fatty acids, which increases the metabolic load that your body's trying to deal with. So that's why you should look for those labels, organic, free range, and do those as much as you can. We understand that stuff's expensive, okay?
And not always available.
And not always available. Like, we don't always eat that way. For example, hamburgers, like, we love to make burgers. Grass-fed beef does not make good burgers.
Right.
The 80-20 stuff is great, okay? But we don't do that all the time. But we do it a lot, okay? Your fats. People have this notion that fats are bad for you and that fats make you fat, and they're fat. I hate that word fattening. Is it fattening? Like, no. Okay? But the fats you need to focus on are avocado, natural bacon, and sausages. And it's important to get the natural stuff there. I think we get Oscar Mayer natural brands.
So that could also be protein sources.
Yes.
Right?
So, bacon and sausage could fall under protein. She's absolutely right. Coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. If we were to take the computer over to our kitchen right now, the only thing we would find is coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, and avocado oil. That's it. That's all we cook with. Yes, it costs a little bit more, but
another thing I never knew.
Please.
Everyone just always cooked with Crisco,
right?
Or vegetable oil, or canola oil. Like, I did not know they were bad. I did not know I was like causing inflammation in my body from the oil I cooked my food in.
It's the craziest thing. Like, when people make these little changes, how quickly their blood sugar and their blood pressure just drops.
Right.
And there's
for me, my elephant legs.
Right. For you, your elephant legs. And it's why I'm really glad with our clinic that we have access to people that can prescribe drugs, because I can't. But we have people there that can. But anyway, nuts are very good for you. Make sure you eat plenty of nuts: almonds, Brazil nuts, cashews, walnuts, pumpkins, and seasoning. I don't know why seasoning's under the nuts section, but
or
it is.
Pumpkin.
That's pumpkin seeds. I should say nuts and seeds is what I should say.
Yeah, let's fix that.
Yeah, we will.
Read your labels on your nuts, though.
Right.
Because lots of nuts, especially like the cheap ones, like Planters, not saying cheap, that they don't cost a lot,
right,
but that come in a package, all have vegetable oil in them. Like 90%.
They roast them in vegetable oil.
They roast them in vegetable oil. That's what makes them taste addictive. I mean, I guess people like them better. But I had that picture. I need to do it. Like, even in the bulk section of our grocery, there's raw cashews and there's roasted cashews. And the roasted cashews have vegetable oil. So,
Yep.
Or some other kind
Just
of
little things like that. You just have to watch out for. Plenty of low glycemic fruits. These are fruits that don't spike your blood sugar, like berries, stone fruits, oranges, and apples. And then vegetables, including sweet potatoes. And we'll talk a little bit more about what a vegetable actually is, like corn, potatoes, peppers, tomatoes. They're not vegetables. Corn is an inflammatory grain. Potatoes is an inflammatory starch. Peppers are a nightshade, which can really drive some people's inflammation levels up. And then tomatoes are fruit. And there's, what's that specific thing in tomatoes that some people get? It's high in lectin. Is it lectins?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. But these are foods that you can bring back in moderation once you do hit your goal weight. But you do have to watch out for them, because people, they think they're eating green peppers as a vegetable.
Well, you live and get it at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you order the vegetables and they bring you like
a skewer
of like
onions and
peppers. Onions are really good for you. The peppers. Not
Tell
good.
that story.
So the other day, Brady's like, we're making dinner and I'm sauteing up onions, and he's like, "Is the only purpose of onions to take for like flavor?" And I was like, "They're a vegetable. I think there's a nutrient value, but I don't know what it is. So we like Googled it. They have tons of nutritional value. So, and they taste awesome. So like win-win with an onion.
I never in my adult life imagined how much I would love eating onions.
So anyway, there you go.
Gee whiz, right? Here's your foods to avoid. Dairy, the whole notion that milk does a body good
Lie.
is a false and it's a lie. Dairy is one of the most inflammatory things on the planet. Eggs are not dairy.
And why does everybody think that?
I don't know.
Every time I go
'cause it
to a
comes from
restaurant
farm.
and I say, you know, I need that like dairy free or that doesn't have any dairy in it, they'll always be like, it has eggs in it. I'm like, well, that doesn't matter.
Now, it is, there are some very good tests available for dairy to see if you're sensitive to them. Because there's like 6 or 7 different proteins that can
It's
react.
really exciting when you have like all of them.
Here's the deal, like you can spend several $100s on the testing or you can just cut it out.
Well, this is my thought from what I've read. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I'm almost one. No, but dairy is inflammatory for everyone. You might not get, sick and have diarrhea.
Well, I was gonna.
I get super sick if I eat dairy because I'm allergic to it for reals. But regardless, it's inflammatory.
Right, and specifically pasteurized dairy, because when they heat it up, it kills all the enzymes your body needs to absorb it. So there are some people that do okay on raw dairy.
Right.
But for now, it's inflammatory.
I like to do a poll though, like everyone's like, milk doesn't bother me. Guarantee they also bloated. You used to try to say that too. Because I think we like it. So like we want to pretend it's not bad for us.
Caseomorphin in it, which is a dopamine producing protein that when you eat it, you get a dopamine rush and you get addicted to it. So of course people.
Turns out you're addicted to milk, people.
Yep.
Who knew?
So soy and tofu, another one of those quote unquote health foods that people think is good for them.
Yeah, a lot of people think tofu is good for them.
Soy, it's highly genetically modified.
It's just not real food.
And it's got glyphosate sprayed which is Roundup sprayed all over it. Peanuts and peanut oil, very inflammatory. Legumes, beans, and lentils. I'm not talking about green beans here. We're talking specifically like navy beans, kidney beans. They can be very inflammatory. Sugar, of course, we should probably put sugar up higher on the list. Potatoes, vegetable oils, palm oils, canola oils, grains, and cereal, including wheat, barley, rye, oats, corn, rice, quinoa, bread, cereals, tortillas, pizza, oatmeal, egg, pasta, granolas, cakes, and cookies, which takes us to a point, right? What do you eat?
Wow, that's quite easy.
In the worksheet, you'll find that all of the recipes that we share with you are either Whole30 or they're paleo, which the Whole30 has a lot of parallels with the paleo diet.
It's a little stricter than paleo.
Right, but it's basically foods that a caveman would eat. And that's what we're pushing. So if we went back to the foods to eat, they're basically what a caveman would have available to them.
Which was not pizza.
And if you look at the foods to avoid, these are foods that are highly processed.
Well, for example, let's just say what we had for dinner tonight.
Okay.
Brussels sprouts, steak.
I took a picture.
Oh, and I used to love orzo back before I knew gluten was killing me. But grain-free is like a big thing now. So you can find a lot of grain-free stuff.
That was dinner tonight.
So we had a little side of grain-free orzo too. But the bulk of, we were really bummed we didn't cook more Brussels sprouts. But just the two of us eating. We bought a bag of them, but I think I could eat a bag to myself next time.
I know you could.
All right, thanks.
So again, don't fret. The foods to avoid, this list is coming to you. We'll send it out to you tomorrow. So drink water and water only. We're running up on time tonight, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time here. But just think of it this way.
You don't want to drink sugar.
You don't want to drink sugar. So you take a 12-ounce can of soda. There's enough sugar in that soda that would come from actually 16 sugar beets. And if you think about a sugar beet, they're about this big. How long would it take you to eat 16 sugar beets? Which is kind of a dumb analogy because this is actually high fructose corn syrup is what we're really talking about, which is a nightmare. So just don't drink sugars. Don't drink fake sugars.
Juice.
Don't fall for that crap about juice being good for you because
It's 100% juice.
It's
You
100%.
have vitamin C.
Right. It's just not. It spikes your blood sugar through the roof. Don't think the diet sodas are good for you. They are cancer causing. They're terrible.
They're linked to Alzheimer's.
They are linked to Alzheimer's. So here was my thought process today as I was putting on my natural deodorant, right? So here we are in 2021, and we know that Alzheimer's is linked to blood sugar issues and aluminum. Yet we're still putting aluminum in our armpits every day. We're cooking with aluminum cookware. Hey, why are we doing this? Why are we still putting mercury in our mouths? This is 2021.
Right. Because people's on that.
That's my side note. So drink water only. And then lastly, you do need to exercise, but not for the reason that you think you do. Okay? You need to exercise not to burn calories, but you need it to actually fire your brain pathways. Nothing will exercise your brain like moving your body. Okay? Sudoku, puzzles, they're not going to cut it. You have got to move. Now, a lot of people freak out about this a little bit because they're inflamed, they're sedentary, their joints hurt. We understand that. We get that. Okay.
That is there.
You got to just start small. Hey, you don't have to. This is our garage. So when COVID hit, we left our gym, our beloved gym, and
it's still very dear in our home.
Oh yeah, we love that place. The owners are our neighbors. Like we absolutely love it. But we don't have time constraints here.
Right.
We can pick our own poison here. Like you don't have to have a garage that looks like ours. You can start by walking. If you have to, start by walking to the mailbox and back. Like that's it. Right. It would be very advantageous for you to get to the point where you do start lifting some weight because resistance strength training is awesome for your immune system. It's awesome for your brain. Muscle tone fires brain pathways. What am I missing here?
It's a hormone buffer.
It's a hormone buffer. It helps you sleep better. It helps you feel better about yourself. It improves your sex life. And it gives you, just all these benefits. You got to just start somewhere. So wherever you're at, start there and start building up to the point where you're doing this regularly because you love it.
I'm such a believer. Like I've switched my diet and I exercise minimum of 5 days a week. And you guys, I supposedly have this huge autoimmune disease. I've been biopsied for all this stuff. I never get sick. I work in a pediatric clinic. I'm a speech pathologist. I'm around lots of people. We run 700 people through our clinic a week. Like it's busy. And guess what, you guys? I didn't get a single cold last year. I never get the flu and I don't get the flu shot. Like I'm never sick. And so I'm like, it really does work. Like I'm a testament that it works.
Right.
Anyhow.
So there you have it. There's the 3 secrets. Now you can take off and just get on the diet part of this, where the only thing it will cost you is groceries. That's it. We're giving you the information. It'll cost you some time. There's a learning curve. We get that. We're here to help you. But there are some supplements that you can do to help. You talk about never getting sick, and well, here's part of the reason. So I have this broken down into basically two levels of supplements. The first one is focusing just on a digestive enzyme that helps you break the food down in your that you eat, so you get the nutrients out of it. It has omega co3 in here, which is basically it's a fish oil. The stuff that you buy at Sam's Club or at Costco, that's rancid oil. It's just not good. That's why it's yellow. And then vitamin D3, that D3 enzyme is in there. Sun Spectrum is an awesome fiber product that I've used for a long, long time. But I have this in here. So, if you want to start going this direction, these level 1 supplements, they're $179 for the 4 of them. You don't have to take them for the rest of your life. It's just, here's a process to get you started. Okay, we do have a level 2 that gets a little bit more intense. And I have people that are really, really sick that I'll have them doing this one. It does cost about twice as much. but it adds a probiotic in there. It adds Cleanzyme, which is an agent to help you clean out those undigested proteins. It has Therazyme to break down scar tissue. It's just a little bit more advanced. So if you want more information on those, happy to give it to you. You can reply to the email you get tomorrow. You can ask questions on here for us tonight, which there have been no questions. So I think we can say thank you. We appreciate you being here. I did record tonight, so I'll send you the recording. We'll send you the worksheet, and you should have that sometime tomorrow morning. So
Awesome. Have an awesome night.
we kept, yeah. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.